Hey you guys, Reg here, and welcome back to the blog. It is day 18 of my 60-day master cleanse. I'm heading very quickly. I'm 2 days away from the 1/3 mark, and I have to say the staying raw has not been the challenge in and of itself, but man, the mind does play some serious tricks, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. But I want to talk a little bit about what I'm eating this morning. I've made myself a green smoothie, as usual. I'm sure you guys are not surprised to either see this jar or hear me talk about smoothies, but this smoothie is made with a mango, a peach, one banana, and then I threw in half a bunch. By bunch, it's like you get a big bunch of greens at the store. I consider that a bunch. So it's half a bunch of dandelion greens. And then I've got about 5 stalks from a fennel plant. Well, there's a fennel bulb and then the stalks that come from that. And then I have about 5 like baby collard green leaves. So I want to say that this is maybe 50-50 fruit um, to greens, and I'm really trying to work my way towards more like 60 40, so 60% greens and 40% fruit. And I'm going to be honest with you, this tastes really good to me, and I could probably have left out the banana and this would still be tasty. Now remember, I'm using orange juice as my liquid, so that's giving me a lot of the sweetness that, giving me a lot of sweetness. So that actually might be sort of upping the percentage of fruit to greens. So although there seemed to be a lot more greens than fruit, just because the greens, they take up a lot of space because they're leaves. But so that's what I'm having this morning. I had a couple of smoothies yesterday. I really haven't been keeping as good as great tabs on my food. I had a quarter of a watermelon. I know that for sure. I believe I had 3 smoothies over the course of the day. So I started my day with a smoothie that was left over from the day before, and then I made myself a smoothie, I believe, with dandelion greens and some peaches and some mango, I believe, and then I avoided bananas yesterday altogether, so I didn't have anything with bananas. Um, you know what? Don't remember what I ate yesterday, and I should be keeping a better diary of it. And maybe before this thing is over, I'll actually, stick to my word and start keeping a real diary. Mm. I made myself a nice salad with cabbage. I took the leftover. There was some of the salad that I'd made with fennel and apple and walnut. There was some of that left over, and I put that into a salad that I'd made with just cabbage and curry and cinnamon, of all things. So I took cabbage, curry, and cinnamon, and I kind of massaged all that together, and then I threw in the remainder of my fennel, apple, and walnut salad. And so now I have this great kind of cabbage salad with apple and fennel, which was pretty delish. And I was eating it as I was making it, so I didn't really serve myself, but I really wanted it to kind of sit overnight so all those flavors could meld together. And the last time I tasted it, it was pretty spicy, and I think it's going to be really delish. I made myself a tasty portobello mushroom wrap. Um, uh, also inspired by my trip to Organic Avenue. I don't know why, but I have just been fiending on this mushroom, the idea of having this mushroom wrap, and so I've definitely been getting enough mushroom into my diet. So portobello mushroom, soaked walnuts, which I'd soaked for about 6 hours. I had some spices. I had some garlic powder. I believe I had some onion powder in there. I used a dash of liquid aminos. Just before I served it, I added a little Himalayan salt to that, and served that wrapped in a slightly dehydrated collard green leaf, and I made 4 of those. I only ate 1. Oh, and just before I served it, I also put in the wrap some dandelion greens. It was a really, really tasty wrap, so I'm looking forward to having some of those when my guests get here, which is something that I started talking about a little earlier. How my this raw food challenge, isn't really that much of a challenge in terms of me choosing things to eat that I love. Um, it's easy because the things that are good for me taste great to me. I'm really enjoying eating all of these fresh fruits and all of these fresh vegetables. But I said, the mind can play tricks. It's not really that the mind can play tricks, but there is a lot out there in the world to lend doubt when a person tries to take their health into their hands. I was overweight. My normal sort of, for a person my height, there's a range, there's a big wide range between anywhere between 170 to 220 pounds. So there's this wide range that you can be and be considered within the safe zone. I was 270 pounds, which means I was 50 pounds overweight, which puts me well into the obesity range. Um, so in my experience, I was able to, um, gain 50 pounds because I had always been sort of at the high end I'd been at the high end of what was considered the normal weight range. But I got to be, 50 pounds overweight, and not once during that period was someone saying, "Hey, Reg, what's going on? Um, are you getting enough exercise?" And it wasn't until I started um, coming back from that uh, and started making choices that were bringing me back from that, that people started questioning me. Getting back to the idea of questioning a person for, making a choice that they think is good for them. And so I have to wonder, where were those people when I was killing myself? And I can only say, we're all terminal. We're all terminal all the time, and I don't mean that in a depressing way. But it's not like anyone is going to live forever. But in terms of having a life of quality, and by a life of quality, a life where my health doesn't prevent me from going for a long walk or playing with uh, nieces and nephews, um, doing my job to the best of my ability. Uh, when I was preventing myself from having that kind of a quality lifestyle by being, grossly overweight, no one was questioning that. It wasn't until I started taking steps, and they may be steps that people consider radical steps. Becoming a raw vegan is, to a lot of people, a radical step. However, you know, what could be more natural than just choosing to eat food that hasn't been processed? And yet I watch people giving children caffeinated beverages with high fructose corn syrup, and no one is questioning that. So it makes me wonder, what is this world that we're living in where you can poison yourself and you can even poison someone else without any reproach, but to take steps to heal yourself um, sets off alarms, or seems to set off alarms for people. Maybe that's all happening in my head, which is why I say, doing this challenge, there are ways that the mind plays tricks. So, again, this is just my experience. This isn't to tell anybody else what to do with their life. But what good is a blog if I don't share a little bit of my own experience in this. So, that said, I hope you guys have a great day. It's day 18 of 60, and who knows, maybe this is something that will go on for much longer than 60 days. But that's all for now. Peace.